A very warm good afternoon to all of you. Dear students, I welcome you all in digital class of biology. Students, as you all know that in our last lecture, we have finished about ecology, and I hope so that you know everything about that unit. But if still there is any query, please feel free to call me. Today I would like to start with my new unit, that is genetics. And I'm sure that you all have little bit idea about the term genetics, because about this we have studied in our class 10th. Okay, so in this lecture I will just take the introductory part of the genetics, so that everything what we have studied in class 10th must be recapitulated in your mind. Clear? But before that, I would like to say something. Students, ever you felt so stressed that you suddenly feel fine? Ever it happened in your life? Yes, students, it happened because during that stress moment you prayed from your true heart. Clear? And this is the real magic of chanting. So keep praying, keep chanting, and keep the stress level away from your mind. Okay, so with this I would like to start. Student, in this we will just take the introduction to genetics. Okay, and these will be our learning objectives. In this we will study about concept of genetics, about Gregor-Johann Mendel, then rediscovery of Mendelian concept, then about modern branches of genetics, and at last we will study about the terminology in genetics. Clear? Students, before starting the term genetics, I just want to ask you that have you ever wondered that why an elephant always give birth only to a baby elephant and not some other animal? Or why a mango seed forms only a mango plant and not any other plant? Or have you ever wondered why siblings sometimes look so similar to each other? So students, the answer to all these questions you will get in this genetics. Okay, so I am sure that you all are quite excited to study about genetics. So students, first is, what is genetics? It is the study of heredity and variation. Now what is this heredity? Student, heredity is the tendency of offspring to resemble their parents. And how it resemble? Student, it resemble when the characters are passed on from parents to progeny. Progeny means offspring, bacche. Okay. Then might be you have observed that sometime the siblings are so different from each other. It also happens sometime, and this happened due to variation. Okay. You can see below that the picture of Rakesh Roshan and his son Hrithik Roshan is given. Okay. You might can observe that there are various resemblance between these two faces. Okay, but these two faces are not exactly same. There are some variation. Hrithik Roshan is not exactly same as Rakesh Roshan. Why? Because Hrithik Roshan is the product of sexual reproduction, and in sexual reproduction variations are there. Some changes are there. Why? Because offspring or Hrithik Roshan is the product of two different genes, that is the gene of his mother and of his father. Clear? And second picture also you can see that the Padma Shri Manmuthi and his son Dalkur Salman. Okay, they belong to Malayalam film industry. This is father, this is son. You can see that there is lot of resemblance, but not exactly. They don't look like exact to each other. Why? Because some variations are there. Clear? I am sure that you are well known to this name, Gregor-Johann Mendel. Okay, so now I would like to tell you something about Gregor-Johann Mendel, because the study of genetics is incomplete without the introduction of Gregor-Johann Mendel. Students, Gregor Johann Mendel was born in 1822 and he was born in a peasant family of Moravia, and due to poverty student he became a monk in 1843, and later in 1847 he was made an head of Augustine monastery of St. Thomas at Brunn, Austria. From here he went in 1851 to the University of Vienna, where he studied natural history and mathematics for 2 years. He also became interested in the process of hybridization. Clear? And Mendel returned to the monastery in 1853 and also worked as a teacher in a school. Student, from 1856 to 1864, Mendel conducted breeding experiment on garden pea plant, that is Pisum sativum, in the garden of his monastery. He published his finding in 1866 in the annual proceedings of the Natural History Society of Brunn. Student, his finding remain unknown. Okay, until these were rediscovered by 3 biologists, namely Karl Correns of Germany, Hugo de Vries of Holland, and Erich von Teschmark of Austria. Student, one important thing I want to tell you, that the hard work or the findings of Mendel was remain hidden for so long, and it was in 1900 that these 3 scientists, they worked and they rediscovered independently the Mendel work. Clear? In the year 1901 his work was rediscovered. Clear? And Mendel's finding formed the basis of the science of genetics, and thus he was credited as the father of genetics. Clear? Okay students, so here now we will deal with various terminologies in genetics. Student, first of all, please remember that the term genetics was coined by William Bateson in 1905, very important for your MCQ. Second, most important, that the term gene was coined by Johnson in 1909. You need to remember the name of the scientist as well as the year in which they coined these terms. Now the definition, we all know that gene is the hereditary determining factor, means it is due to gene only that we resembles our parent. If some characteristics are there which resemble to my parents, it is due to the transfer of gene from my parents to me. Clear? And what are these genes exactly? These are the continuous segment of DNA. Suppose this is your DNA. Okay, we know this thing. Okay, your DNA is formed of your, this is your chromosome. Okay, and chromosome is formed of DNA and protein in this way. Okay, and where are these genes? These genes are present, student, here like this. Okay, this segment of DNA is known as one gene. Okay, suppose this gene, okay, contain the information of curly hair from your mother, and if this same segment transfer into your cell, it means that you will also be having curly hair only. Got? Okay, so students, after that, the position of these genes, okay, on the chromosome is known as locus. Singular is locus and plural is loci. Clear? If you want to understand from here, I can explain from here also, that first it is your chromosome. Chromosome is formed of DNA. Okay, this is your DNA, and DNA formed of gene. I hope so that it is clear, but if still there is confusion, please do ask me today only. Okay, because I don't want that there should be any confusion between chromosome, DNA and gene. Okay, why? Because before studying genetics, you must be well known by these 3 terms: chromosome, DNA and genes. Clear? Next student, allele. What is allele? Allele is also known as allelomorphs. Clear? And these alleles are the alternate form of a gene which occupy identical loci on homologous chromosome. What does it mean, student? It is your chromosome, it is your chromosome, okay? And this is allele, this is allele. Okay, what are these allele? These are actually gene only. Your gene is formed of two allele. One gene is formed of two allele. Okay, for example, this allele code for your purple color flower and this allele code for your white flower. Okay, and out of this, whichever will be dominant will express itself. Okay, or simple example if you want, then I can give you of tallness. Clear? For example, this is present in one chromosome and this is present in another chromosome. Okay, so it is allele of your height. This is also the allele of your height, and they occupy the identical loci. They are present at same position. Okay, it is not that one is present here and other is present here. Okay, allele of a same character or a same gene is present in the same loci only. Clear? For example, students, see here, this is your allele. It is your allele or it is your gene? It is your gene of your height, which is composed of two allele, that is capital T and small t. Now I hope so that it is clear to you. And it is also given here that usually allele exists in two forms, that is dominant allele and recessive allele. This is your dominant allele and this is your recessive allele. Clear? So here I have mentioned about the dominant and recessive allele earlier only. Okay, so this is dominant, this is recessive, and dominant allele is always symbolized by your capital letter, whereas recessive alleles are symbolized with your small letters. Clear? I hope so it is clear. Now about genotype and phenotype. Students, as the name suggests, genotype means it will tell us about the genetic makeup, and phenotype, it means that it will tell us about physical feature of an organism. Okay, that how it looks. And student, phenotype, it depend upon genotype, but also with it also depend on the environmental factor. For example, suppose this is your genotype. Okay, and if some organism or some plant have this genotype, it means that plant will be tall only. Why? Because capital T is there and capital T is dominant, so your plant will be tall. Clear? But suppose if there is no sunlight, then plant will grow to a certain height? No. Thus phenotype depend upon genotype as well as on environmental factors. Clear to all? Okay, understood? Student, genotype means this is and phenotype means tall. Genotype means this and phenotype means that organism would be dwarf. कि वो देखने में कैसा होगा, वो होता है फिनोटाइप, और जीनोटाइप होता है उसके जीन्स कैसे थे. ठीक है स्टूडेंट. नेक्स्ट स्टूडेंट, योर होमोजाइगस and heterozygous. Nothing is there. Student, when same allele are present, then it is known as homozygous, and when different alleles are present, then it is known as heterozygous, that is capital T and small t. These are two different alleles, so these are your heterozygous, and when similar alleles are present, then it is your homozygous. Clear? What is this hemizygous? Student, it is a term for your sex chromosome. Okay, example like X chromosome and Y chromosome. Okay, X chromosome is present only once in your cell, and your Y chromosome is also one only. Okay, there is no another copy of your Y chromosome. Clear? That is why your these sperm and ovum are haploid. Why haploid? Because they have single set of chromosome. Clear? And what is this dominance and recessiveness? I have told you earlier that it is the ability of the allele to express itself. For example, capital T and small t is there, means capital T is able to express itself, so it is dominant, whereas small t, okay, it is the inability of the allele to express itself. Okay, it can't express itself in the presence of the dominant, but when small t and small t are present, at that time they can express itself and the phenotype would be dwarf. But if it is capital T and small t, then the phenotype would be tall. Understood? Next student, it is hybridization and hybrid. Okay, nothing is there. It is the process of crossing two genetically different individual. Okay, one is tall, another is dwarf. Why term homozygous is given? Because both alleles are same. Suppose if in spite of small t there would be capital T and small t, then what it would be? It would be your heterozygous tall. Clear? And when these two organisms, they will cross with each other, they will form a heterozygous tall. See here. Understood? Suppose I'll take the example of your family. Okay, suppose your father is homozygous tall and your mother is homozygous dwarf. Okay, your father height is tall and your mother height is short. Okay, the individual, the progeny that will be formed, okay, by crossing the two parents, it will be heterozygous tall. Heterozygous tall means by look that progeny would be tall. Okay, but when this progeny in future will marry with small individual, okay, or with your, what it would produce? It would produce your heterozygous tall only. Understood? About this we will study with the passage of time. Don't get confused here. Okay, just this I have given you example so that it must be clear to you. Next is your hybrid. This is your hybrid. Okay, the progeny of hybridization or the product of hybridization is known as hybrid. Clear? Student, next is your monohybrid and dihybrid. What is this monohybrid? Okay, it is an organism which is heterozygous with respect to only one pair of allele at a locus. One pair of allele means what? Capital T and small t. Okay, this. Whereas the organism which is heterozygous with respect to two pair of allele. Two pair of allele means what? In your one organism, see here, a round seed is also there and yellow color of the seed is there, means there are two pair of alleles are there, so it is your hybrid and this is your monohybrid. I hope so that the thing is clear to you. Then after this, the student, monohybrid cross and dihybrid cross. Similarly, okay, what happen when only one character is crossed? Okay, for example, we have taken the characteristics of your height. Okay, so it is capital T into small t, whereas in case of your dihybrid, two characters are taken. Which two character is taken here? That is the color and shape of the seed. Clear? Okay, next is your student F1 and F2 generation. What happened in your F1 generation? Your two parents, when combined together, they will form F1 generation, and when this F1 generation will, okay, marry with another individual and when the product of their will be formed, then it is known as F2 generation. For example, these are your dada dadi. Okay, your dada dadi give rise to your father and then your father married to your mother. Okay, your father was heterozygous tall and mother was homozygous dwarf. Clear? And then your generation is F2 generation, in which one is heterozygous tall and one is homozygous dwarf. Maybe your brother is tall and you are dwarf, okay, or it can be vice versa. I hope so that the thing is clear to you. Reciprocal cross, students, what happened? Two reverse crosses in which sexes of the parents are interchanged. Okay, sexes of the parents interchange means what? First we have taken father as tall and mother as dwarf, and second time we will take father as dwarf and mother as tall. Clear? Next, student, back cross. What happened here? Your F1 offspring will cross with one of its parents. For example, these are parent, okay, and this will be your F1 generation. This F1 generation will be crossed with either of your parent, either with this, either with this, okay. If it will cross with the dominant parent, then it would be your back cross, but if it would crossed with your recessive parent, then it would be your test cross. Clear? About this we will study with the passage of time, because it is important, don't can confuse, okay. Next is your student test cross, okay. I have told you. And why this is done? It is done to determine whether the individual exhibiting dominant character are homozygous or heterozygous, okay. It is important, just try to understand. If there is any confusion, okay, drop your query and I'll explain this in your Zoom class. So with this I have finished, okay, important terminologies in your genetics. I hope so that you have understood. Watch this PowerPoint presentation again, and for any query please feel free to call me. Thank you and have a great day ahead.